Hi guys, I'm Samuel Moser, and I want to talk to you about my song, Don't Break a Goat's Heart. Like most of my songs, this is about my imagination, and especially about my childhood growing up on our farm, Moser Meadows. If you know anything about me, or if you want to listen to any of my songs or watch any of my videos, this one is the most important. I think it lays the foundation for so much of the other stuff I've done. It's the one that I spent the longest time working on, and it's kind of just my catchphrase, my saying. And so this video should hopefully help you understand what that's all about, like why I wrote this song and what it means. So I hope you enjoy this. I first came up with the concept for this song on a long car ride with some of my siblings. We were listening to pop and country music and a lot of the stuff that was famous at the time. And leading up to the trip, I hadn't listened to that kind of stuff much. But given time on the car ride, I started to notice I did like a lot of it. And I have this tendency when I'm listening to music not to understand the words. So I take a whole different meaning out of what they're actually saying. I thought some of them were talking about the animals they left back home. And that had a connection with me, even though it wasn't what they were really saying. We were getting ready to leave our farm and move to town. And I knew that we were not going to see our animals anymore. And growing up, I'd gotten used to getting most of my laughs out of watching the animals do stuff. And so I made a picture of myself trying to calm down this goat that was crying, and I wrote on the picture, "Don't break a goat's heart." Besides the line, "Don't break a goat's heart," I had a hard time coming up with the rest of the song. I couldn't figure out what kind of lyrics should surround that, but I got the idea that it should be a sort of story. When I was younger, I had a dream that I was being chased around by a skunk, and I started throwing things at it to get it to stop chasing me, and eventually it stopped and it started crying, and I went over to it and I said, "Why are you sad?" And I realized that this skunk had feelings too, and it just wanted to be my friend. And so I thought, oh, how in the world can I fix this? How can I make this right? So I sat down and I told the skunk about how I feel like I take for granted a lot of the people in my life. And I started singing a song about all the people I felt like I took for granted. And there was this whole music video that went with the song that I was singing. It was crazy. I woke up from that dream and thought, yeah, that's about the sum of how most of my dreams go. They're usually music videos. I thought that most of the song "Don't Break a Goat's Heart" should be about the buck fight. And the getting into a fight with a buck and then suddenly realizing that he had feelings and feeling bad about that. So one of the first drafts I wrote for the song went like this. We started fighting, and I didn't think it mattered, but he started crying, for emotions have been shattered. He loved me, but I never knew that goats could be so smart. I learned it fast, but I learned it well. Don't break a goat's heart. Never act out of spite. Friendship's precious as art. Whether you work or whether you play, don't break a goat's heart. I couldn't sleep at night because I was such a bully. I had to find that goat, apologize more fully. When I came, he wasn't there, nowhere to be found. Since I had treated him unfair, he didn't stick around. But I started searching, and eventually I found him. To show my sympathy, I put my arms around him. How good then forgiveness felt when I had done my part. I'm so glad I know it now. Don't break a goat's heart. I decided after a while that this could only be part of the song because I wanted it to be about all of our goats. We had at the time both Kikos and Saanens, and I decided that one verse should be about a Kiko buck and the other verse should be about a Saanen girl. And there are two ways you can break an animal's heart. You can be a bully to it and treat it badly, or you could not recognize that it wants to be your friend and neglect it. I decided to focus on one aspect of this in one verse and the other aspect in the second verse. The tune took me a really long time to come up with, but I eventually came up with this goat-like bubbly sounding melody that I liked, that I thought, this works. And I worked on that for a while. Like one time it was going really fast and I thought, okay, I need to slow this down a little bit. And another time I thought, oh, I should slow it down for just part of it, the opening. And later I thought there should be a bridge. There should be a part where the music changes and there's a different tune for a little bit. And Later, I thought there should also be a key change, and yeah, that went along with the music video, I think, really well. Because with the slow beginning, I was able to have the sun rising, and for the key change, I was able to have the sun setting. Having worked so long on this song, it was hard ever just to put it down and say, yeah, it's ready. I remember one time having a dream after I'd already had the main melody worked out, and I thought in my dream of doing this really rocky version of the song. And I was thinking, oh man, what should I do with this song? Like, there's so much I can do with it. And there is so much I can do with it. I mean, it is my song, and so I can do an acoustic version, I could do a rock version, but I had to tell myself, but what's the main version gonna be? So I just tweaked the main version a little bit, and I thought, okay, this is what I'm gonna call good. This is gonna be enough. Goats may seem really dumb, and it may be really hard to see them as not dumb, but they're actually kind of smart. One time, we were having trouble finding a break in the goat's pen, and so we couldn't figure out where they were escaping. Until one time, we saw two of them standing next to each other, and another one climb on top and climb out of the fence. We'd realized they'd built a goat pyramid to escape. So, those are some fun goat facts. I hope you enjoyed learning about my song, and maybe it's inspired you. If you'd like to see more songs like it, subscribe, and you can see more silly music videos, and I will see you next time.